right? We not having that. We want to build a community, forever. Kids win, we win. Period.
Class is in session. Welcome back to another episode of AM University. My name is Antoine Miller. Got my dear friend here for the last probably 5 years, Demetrius Briggs, owner of WeBuild Basketball, WeBuild Training. A lot of good qualities about his program, but I'm going to talk about that later, because we got a we got a problem. We got a problem. All right, so introduce yourself first.
Yeah, man. D. Briggs, like Twan said, owner of WeBuild Hoops Factory. Just started my own podcast, the Coaches Circle, which Antoine's been helping me out. He's been a tremendous help with that, man. Just getting established, getting that off the ground. Also head coach of the Medford Tech girls. This will be my second year with the program. So Antoine, man, I can't say it enough. I say it all the time, man. Great dude, great content. I love what you're doing, man, with this podcast, man. The last interview you had was phenomenal. DJ's mom was, like I told you, she's gonna be a hard act to follow. So I'm just glad to be on. And let's get to it, man.
Appreciate it. All right, so any person I bring on this podcast to talk about basketball, I really respect. So let's get that. I'm gonna get all the good qualities of yours out first. So me and you, we ever talk about basketball, we agree on 97, 98% of whatever basketball we talk about, right? But this one topic, I don't even think we're on opposite sides necessarily, but it's kind of like just some disconnect in the middle, right? I think at the end of the day, we both are on the same side. But it's a good dialogue to talk about because what you do with your program, what I do with this podcast, what you do with your podcast is all about the development of the youth, right? So, and that's the whole reason for this. We want to get down to the root to make their situation better as far as basketball.
Absolutely.
So, James Harden. James Harden, right? So, I'll just talk briefly about it and I'll let you go and we'll just go back and forth. I feel not necessarily the person, but the way James Harden plays the game is destroying basketball. It's destroying basketball. In my opinion, this is what the world fails to realize. You got a guy like James Harden. I compare James Harden to people like Mike Vick and in his Atlanta days, Kyrie Irving, how he plays the game, right? They can do some things in a phone booth that just the rest of the world can't do, right? Absolutely. Because of either skill set or because of God-given talent, right? But again, what the world fails to realize is you can't do that, but everybody wants to do that, right? So because of that skill set, it's beautiful to look at. It's sexy, right? So everybody wants to do it, right? But in essence, what it's doing to the majority of the world, I feel like it's messing up basketball, like period, all around. So we'll just go off of that, and you just let me know your thoughts, and let's go.
So
let's go.
So I'll be honest, man. I mean, well, if you know anything about me, if you follow me on Instagram, anything like that, you know James is my guy. Michael Jordan's my favorite basketball player. Maya Moore is my second, and James Harden right there. He coming up. What he does with the basketball, man, he's cerebral. He's special. That's what I like about him the most. I'm the type of guy I like cerebral people. That's the kind of energy I'm attracted to. So the way he studies the game, and you wouldn't realize it if you just watching him just to watch, but you could tell the way he correlates his timing and his space, with his different moves, you know that he studies the game.
Right.
So that's what attracts me to his game.
Right.
I feel like James don't get enough appreciation. So what I mean by that is like when I see kids, I don't really hear them emulating James Harden. Like to me, when they emulate him, it's almost like a funny joke. Like, let me travel. You know what I mean? Like if I'm traveling, I'm stepping back. Let me say James Harden. But you don't really hear people emulate James Harden too much. I really feel like he ain't gonna get the appreciation he deserves until he long gone. Like when you think about it, he getting 40 a night.
Oh, let me cut you off because this is a great point. So what appreciation does he deserve? And I'm saying this with
Right.
everything that you're saying. He's a very smart guy.
Right.
You can tell he's a very smart guy. How he anticipates with his ball handling, how he anticipates what the defender is going to do.
Right.
Like that's like a whole bunch of different nuances that people don't even
absolutely.
like. When you're going to reach, when you're going to fall step with your foot.
He
like,
reading it. He ain't anticipate. He reading.
That's
He
insane.
actually reading it.
That's insane.
That's how fast his brain is processing.
But with saying that, what recognition does he really deserve?
I mean, he getting 40 a night in the best league in the world. 40 a night.
What does he equate to though? Because that's what I'm trying to get at by asking you that question about James Harden. Does it equate to wins and championships? That style of play.
So I'll say this. I think that it's more so to do with the coaching philosophy as opposed to what James does. So I'll explain.
Please.
So D'Antoni, I like Mike D'Antoni as a coach. I respect him because he's the type of guy he going live or die with his own philosophy. Like he's not stuck to a cookie cutter situation. He identifies with his roster, what he likes, what his strengths are, and he gonna go at it and live or die with it, regardless of whether the public persona is he's doing the wrong thing, whatever the case may be. I agree with you when you say, we talk a lot, you say that Houston has one of the easiest offenses to guard or stop in the NBA. In theory, I think you're correct. It's very simple. He got this dynamic one-on-one player. He gonna space the floor. He gonna let that one-on-one player work out. If you try to double him, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll screen and roll, try to get a switch for the mismatch, and James go to work. If you don't switch, if you try to double off the pick and roll, he throw the little pocket pass or a little pop pass to the behind the back to the three guy,
Right.
or he'll throw to the diver. The diver's automatically kicking out to the 3-point line.
Right.
They never really scoring. When they had Capella, he would dunk it, he would lob it. But now that diver, that pocket pass, off that pocket pass, is immediately going to the corner. It's
Absolutely.
like clockwork. So he's actually using what you were taught fundamentally as a basketball player against you. So I'm supposed to close out, I'm supposed to rotate and help. When that happens, they automatically kicking it for a wide open three, and they literally living and dying with the three. And if you look at the team over the last 4 years, Golden State has really been the only team that's beat them, and that's because Golden State can play that way too, on top of have the movement to go with it.
Can it win you championships? Because
if you get hot enough. If you get hot enough.
That's a big if.
You correct.
Like I feel like James Harden is the best isolation, and not even because his actual just one-on-one skill set. He's the best pick and roll player I've ever seen in my life, right? And all those things coincide. He's created moves like how he gets fouled going to the rim. He took the Euro to a whole different atmosphere. Like I think he's the best one-on-one player ever, but how does that equate to championships? Because even if, all right, you say people not mimicking him, people damn sure mimicking Kyrie. Damn sure.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
Vic was Vic in Atlanta, the human joystick.
Yeah.
But what did he equate to? Like, and I just feel like these kids don't look at the people that they and you'll understand this, and most people might not. Like, I'm not saying James Harden is a selfish player or a bad player and things like that, because like you said, he might be the smartest guy in the league.
Right.
Like, offensively.
Right.
Like, he's highly intelligent. But, and it's hard to tell a person with that skill set to adjust it as well. Like, you know, like, we'll never be like James Harden as normal humans, right? So who are we to say that, right, in his position? But again, what does it bring him? It just bring him a lot of 40-point averages.
So to me, and you see it right now in the playoff series, right? Really the games have come down to the fourth quarter, and for 3 quarters they able to get away with a lack of movement.
Right.
So what happens is in the fourth quarter, LA start doubling them right away, right? And that's really been the blueprint to beat them. Right. You double James right away as soon as he cross half court. He's going to give it up because he's going to make the right basketball play.
Right.
What happens is a lot of times he defers when he shouldn't. So when he gives it up, he's not really working to get it back. He's really allowing, it's almost like when you working against a boxing one. Mm-hmm. He's allowing his guys to go 4-on-4. He's saying there's more space on the floor. It's 4-on-4. I take myself out to play. Go get a bucket. They can't go get a bucket. You got Westbrook that should be able to get a bucket. His mind is wherever his mind is right now. But when you look at it, nobody else is really taking you off the dribble. They depending on the 3. So now if you close that off, and you pack it in, on what they gonna do?
Yeah.
So to me, it's more of a coaching philosophy thing.
I hate D'Antoni Briggs.
I could tell.
I hate him, bro.
I don't mind him. Like I said, I respect him because
people call him a genius offensively, bro. You gonna go that far?
I'm not gonna call him a genius, but he's definitely highly intelligent as far as I mean, he identifies the mismatch better than anybody. He looking at his roster. He said, "I got the best ISO player in the game. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna find a way that he can get his numbers, and we gonna win or die with that."
Okay.
Like, I mean, in reality, look at the Houston roster.
The roster is not that good.
I mean, they going toe to toe every night with the Lakers, and they got 6-5 and under lead.
It's not that good. Okay. All right.
Like to me, I don't really think the kids are really. How should I say? I don't think the AAU circuit is emulating the NBA. I actually think the NBA is reaching back and emulating AAU. Because if you look at it, LeBron's what, 35, 36? I'm a couple years older than LeBron. But AAU wasn't as prevalent back when we was coming up out of high school. It was your high school basketball team. If you had an elite high school basketball team, they was traveling the country. It might have been on ESPN a couple times. Right. You was either hopping straight to the league or going to college for 1 year, and you was going right to the league.
Right.
I would say within the last 10 years, AAU has taken over. You get most of your recruitment from AAU.
100%.
So now let's look at it. Those stars in the league now, most of the stars in the league come from that AAU circle. Mm-hmm. So now that's what they know. Like, AAU ball has always been about that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to game plan like you do in high school. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know who you might not see this. You might not have seen this team ever. You know what I mean? But you know what you got, so you really planning for your strengths.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now it's like, all right, we gotta find a way to get Johnny open, because we know Johnny can get a bucket on anybody at any time. We're gonna space it out. AAU is a lot of ISO ball. So now you see in the league, that's what the league is turning into.
So is that a good thing? My question to you, is that a good thing?
I mean, of course, coming from the era that I come from, I don't necessarily agree with it. But, you know, every 30 to 40 years, the game evolves. And the game is turning into something else.
Because that's a good point that you brought up. And I think about this all the time with shooting. right? Everybody want to shoot threes, and it just keep going further and further back. But why is that happening? It ain't because all these people can shoot, right? So that part always it never made sense to me, right? It's only one Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in this world, right? But everybody want to emulate that. Dirk Nowitzki, when he was the stretch four, everybody wanted. You're not Dirk though. It was always puzzling to me. Why are you playing to the strengths of what's the wave right now?
But in actuality, when you look at it, that's the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? When you look at it from a skill development point, when you look at kids' skill development, not anybody in particular, just as a whole, when you look at it, like I can sit there and shoot jumpers all day long. Like it's almost like the settle. The
Going
settle
to the
shot.
rack is in a way it's kind of harder.
It's different.
Right.
It's different. Like
right.
I was in a session today. I was in a session today with a post grad. We doing layups underneath. I just got them standing underneath the basket, warming up. We doing loops. You gotta make 10 in a row on the right hand. You gotta make 10 in a row on the left. We did 35 minutes.
Wow.
35 minutes, and we standing directly under the basket. So it's not that this person doesn't have basketball skills. It's the attention to detail.
When did you first see a kid on a fast break run to the 3-point line instead of dive to the basket?
It happens all the time now. I can't even tell you, and it burns me up, man. And that's like something that, like I coach girls now. I coach high school girls now, and it's not as bad, of course, on the high school girls circuit. In actuality, I love coaching high school girls just because. They listen, man. They're gonna run through a wall if you ask them to. They gonna try it. There's no shame in their game. Like if they can't do it, they gonna try it to a fault. And I can appreciate that, somebody that's willing to put their faults on the line. And it's crazy. So, but yeah, when you look at the game now, like kids don't even understand when you get to the wings to cut in and try to get the layup. And it's many layups there. But again, I kind of get what you're saying as far as when kids are emulating certain things in the league, because that's what the league is doing. But they don't understand that, like, you get a guy like, let's see here, you got, I'll say JaVale McGee, right? You probably put JaVale McGee in the gym by himself at the top of the key. He knocking down jumpers consistently. But you know what I mean? He's centered. JaVale McGee can't shoot. I bet you he can. Them dudes in the league is different.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like they different, and kids don't understand that part.
That's a whole nother topic because I wanted to ask you how do we fix that? But I guess these kids so much knuckleheads, they got to see it for themselves and go against a real person like JaVale McGee that has that type of skill set, you know. So, what you think about youth development? Is it happening? More specifically,
I'll say this. I'll say this. I mean, it's definitely happening because it's a lot of trainers out here that do what I do.
Do they do it well?
It's some good guys out here. Some really good guys out here. And there's some bad guys out here too. It's just kind of like the coaching circuit, you know, like the AAU coaching circuit. Like, what qualifications?
See, but you can't ask me that type of question because I think most of the coaching circuit is bad. I think most of the training is bad.
And I think it kind of correlates. It's some guy, like I said, you got as a parent. If I got a daughter that plays the game, I got a son that plays the game. As a parent, I gotta do my research. Anybody that I give my kids to, I gotta make sure I do my homework.
Speak on that a little more.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't think enough parents understand that. They see either you really good with photography as far as selling your brand, as far as a trainer, or you can talk really well, or you just got lucky and trained this guy that was a McDonald's All-American or an NBA player, and parents just automatically go with that based off of names. Speak on that a little bit, like as far as the parent aspect with your kid.
Yeah, so I mean, I see it a lot where it's like you said, it's almost like, you know what I mean, we all are prisoners to Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. It's marketing. It's the reason why they got McDonald's billboard everywhere. You know what I mean? When you see that sign, it's, you know what I mean, it does something to you internally. It's
100%.
certain feeling. So same thing, when you market that you in the gym, you don't necessarily, if you watch closely, you don't necessarily have to be training this person. A lot of them dudes is getting rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you in the gym with Ben Simmons, or I'm in the gym with whoever,
You must be good at what
I
you do.
must be good at what I do. Or if I'm in the gym with a up and coming high school or collegiate athlete, I must be that guy must be good. Let me go bring my kid to him. And all well and good. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna do trial by error, that's cool. But as a parent, your responsibility isn't over. You gotta stay, watch, and understand the game. And every parent ain't gonna be a coach. Every parent ain't play basketball, so they may not have a clear understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta do your homework. Like, I know if like right now, my daughter's training with Coach Pope or TPX training. Shout out to Pope.
Yeah, shout out to Pope, man. Good dude.
Yeah, like she needs to take her physical conditioning to the next level. That's not my specialty. I could do it, but it's not my specialty. I watched him. I did my homework. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you got it.
You still understand.
Yeah.
But again, this is not my forte.
Yeah.
Let me go to somebody that I get what he's doing, but I just don't do it. You know, that's so important that you said that, man. Like, I don't understand why parents don't realize that. You know, just ask a whole bunch of questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's it.
Your kid ain't gonna know no better.
That's it.
Like, you gotta save them from that.
That's it. And I mean, you kind of, if you paying attention to the session, the training session, the team session, whatever, whether it's coaching, training, if you actually paying attention to it, you can pick up on.
This don't look right.
Yeah, you can pick up on what's going on.
This don't
You know
look
what I mean? Like, so.
Like,
Yeah, parents gotta do their homework. You know what I mean? Kids gotta do their homework. Again, you just as a kid, yeah, my parents is paying for it, but that's your time. That's your time. Your time is limited. That high school be gone. Bang. That's it.
We can't get it back.
Yeah. So
get it
you
back.
know what I mean? You don't want to be playing around with somebody that don't know what they doing.
How you feel about the like the volunteers at the youth level, as far as, because I don't really think it's a black and white answer to this. Like, you know, because on one side you could say they not teaching these kids anything, right? They with them for 3 hours a day. They not teaching them anything. But on the flip side, it's like, all right, but they volunteering their time, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what you really gonna say?
Absolutely. I don't think there's enough of them, to be honest with you. So then, with the limited participation, you got, beggars can't be choosy. You're gonna get what you're gonna get.
Right.
On the flip side, when these people are volunteering their time, we got to take account for it. They are volunteering their time. You, as a parent, I can't be in the stands over critiquing this person and not helping them, and they volunteering their time.
Right.
So at some point, if I know more than them, I'm a basketball coach. If I allow my son to play for somebody that is volunteering their time, they may or may not know the game. I don't know. They volunteering their time. It's a rec league.
Right.
And they're teaching them the wrong thing. I can't just be sitting up in the crowd whispering like, "Yo, he don't know what he's doing," and I haven't said nothing to him. I haven't done anything to enhance the program.
That? Do you know
we
why?
weird, man. We weird people. We weird people, man.
Like, why do we do that?
Because it's a sense of fear.
That's interesting. In what way?
It's a sense of fear. So, I mean, think about it. It's easy to put the spotlight on somebody else and talk about their flaws. You know what I'm saying? Like, their flaws is on display. It's the same thing as when a kid is on the basketball court. Like, sometimes they get nervous, rightfully so, because their flaws are on display for everybody to see. Your misses, your deficiencies, whatever they are on display every single night. So same thing, when you coaching, Same thing. Your flaws is on display. You know what I'm saying? What you know or what you don't know about the game is on display. So it's easy for me to sit in the crowd and, it's nobody more knowledgeable than the coach from the stands.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
They never wrong.
The coach from the stands.
Right.
So
That's a real good point.
You know
That's a
what I
real
mean?
good point. All right, just to wrap it up, talk about WeBuild for a second, because again, like I'm a real observant type of guy. Like I when I see quality work, like I value it, and I always try to nitpick things. Like I'm not a trainer at all, but it's always things that I can implement, watching you into my coaching philosophy. Like I think we always got to keep learning from each other, and I learned a lot from you over the past 4 or 5 years that I met you, and your program has grown tremendously in the past couple years. Well respected. I could talk about you for hours about just certain qualities that I really like with reaction time to how you train kids. So just talk about your program for a second, and where you want to take it. What are you getting out of your sessions for the kids? Just talk about it a little bit.
yeah, WeBuild Who's Factory down 305 Park Ave in Hainesport. We've been rocking out there for a little bit over 3.5 years, man. Same spot. It was a little warehouse that turned into a gym, fully functional gym with 2 courts, hardwood floor, footwork stations, all types of basketball equipment. It's really about helping the youth, man. It's about giving back. Trying to teach them things that I didn't have when I was coming up. It wasn't no trainers when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? You just emulated what you saw. You went out to the court. You tried to play. You ain't know why you was doing it. It's just what you did. So now having the opportunity to kind of give these kids a roadmap and give them a better understanding, because I'll be honest, the kids today are so much more skilled than when I came up. Like it's not even close, the skill, but the IQ part is missing. You know what I'm saying? That's what we missing. So when we finally connect the IQ part with the skill that they got now, is the next Michael Jordan is coming.
Right.
He is on his way, or she is on his way, because the skill level that they have, they don't even understand it right now. So, like I said, when I come into a session, I tell people 90% of what I do is mental, right? 10% physical, because like I seen a post today from a guy that I came into the game with, Bobby White. He came in with me to like 2014. We was at like the same training seminar, and he said, "You can work out with anybody. I'm trying to make a generational impact when you work with me." And that's kind of where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like I don't get nothing out of chasing. I'm not chasing nobody kid to work with them or nothing like that. That's not what I do.
Right.
Yeah, like for me, all you got to do is have a willingness to learn, willingness to work hard, and a willingness to get past your fears. If you got those 3 things, I can work with you. Like I get as much joy working out with the superstar athlete as I do the little girl that never picked up a basketball before and she just made her first shot, or she just learned how to cross over between her legs. Like it's the same look. It's the same look, same feeling. So that's really what we're about, man. And it's hard because everybody's not like that. So I tell parents all the time, man, do your homework. And for me, and I'm saying this as a trainer, like don't be scared to explore like other things, other trainers, like, because I feel like you can learn something from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean that's just the way to attack it.
You're here to
man.
serve.
Just the way to attack it.
You're here to serve. How can people get in contact with you?
Yeah, you can follow me on IG at WeBuild Basketball. I think I'm on Twitter as well, WeBuild Skills. And you always call 856-979-3102. We public, you know what I mean? Got the website webuildtraining.org. So yeah, man, follow us.
Yeah, that's good. Right there. And right on that. Damn, see, I knew I wouldn't get to these questions. Like, 'cause that's what I'm saying.